Today we are looking at the very famous, very important and super significant Charlemagne, wearing a lovely blue dress, tunic. They're all the rage. Mr. Elder, please tell us a little about why you were interviewing Charlemagne today.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. And as mentioned before, I'll be talking to the very famous, rather important and very dashing looking Charlemagne. How are you?
Very good, very well.
Now, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today. I understand you've been very busy recently.
Yeah, at the start of this year, at the start of 812, we got a final acknowledgement from Byzantium, from Michael I, that yes, I am actually, indeed, the Holy Roman Emperor. It's been a long time coming, about 12 years.
That must have been a major achievement for you after so long to finally be acknowledged as equal.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit better than equal. At the end of the day, I am the sword of Christianity. I do an awful lot more than Byzantium ever does.
And I bet he can't wear that blue tunic half as good as you do.
Probably not.
Now, some of the questions that I'm going to be asking you today is about your role and your position and even your legacy in Europe. And so to start with, I'd really like to talk to you about 771, when Charlemagne died and everyone looked to Charlemagne and said, look, you are the man, where are we going to from here?
Indeed, it was a really hard year for me, my brother dying like that. As you know, usually what happens is your father dies and everything is split equally. But when my brother died so young, we had to do things a little bit differently. And suddenly I have a mass amount of land and people to look after. And I'm happy to say I rose to the challenge.
Now, one of the first challenges that you had to face once taking this big job was the Saxons to your eastern border. Can you tell us a little bit about what you needed to do there?
Well, the Saxons are pagan, of course. So, and as a barbarian pagan tribe, I really wanted to spread Christianity. And, you know, if you don't accept Christianity, then there's very little else in the world that's for you. And also, I wanted to extend my own borders too, make sure my people are safe.
So the expansions into Saxony was for Christian purposes and also for defense purposes.
Yes.
So once you'd established secure borders along the Saxon border, you then turned to some other challenges, and particularly palace building in your capital city of Aachen. Could you please tell us how long it took to build that palace of yours?
Oh goodness, that took quite a number of years indeed. But it was really important to be able to fully solidify control and leadership in that way, and to give some of us in the north of Europe definite representation.
And I'm sure people in the north appreciated such a large and prosperous-looking capital city.
Indeed, especially with the new cathedral as well. That is of much higher importance, of course, than the palace ever would be.
So, do you believe the cathedral is the most important part of Aachen?
Of course. As the Holy Roman Emperor and the leader of Christianity, yes.
I guess you can't be holy without a cathedral.
Indeed.
Now, another one of your reforms was to compel the churches and monasteries to open schools.
Yes.
Now, particularly encouraging the nobility and people who wanted to get into the church hierarchy to learn Latin. Could you please tell us a little bit about that?
Well, for me, I love learning. I love arts, I love music, I speak a few different languages, but, there are aspects of my education I would like stronger. And I wanted to make sure that the younger generations have that opportunity. It's really, really important to be educated, really, really important that we have people that are able to write things down so that we can leave stories behind.
Now, you said that your current role as Holy Roman Emperor, you weren't Holy Roman Emperor in 771. Could you please tell us a little bit about 800 and the crowning as Emperor?
Well, in the year before, we had the Pope, of course, having awful difficulty with those awful Roman nobles. For years, those Roman nobles have been making a mockery of the papacy. And suddenly, when they decided they didn't like the Pope, they tried to oust him. So, of course, I came to his aid, as a good Christian emperor would.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that somebody in Europe had their eye on the right set of priorities there. Now, just one final question. imagine somebody 100 years hence. Imagine the year 912. Looking back on today, what do you think they would view as the most important thing that Charlemagne did for Europe?
Definitely unite Christianity across Europe. Defy those barbarian tribes, make sure we spread the good word of the Lord, and make sure we spread education.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for meeting us with Charlemagne, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you.